Welcome, family. I know this is early. Um, I just left from information, man. It was very powerful. Go check it out. Talk about the Cosby verdict and other things. I want you to check it out. Um, I do have a special, and I'm waiting for some more people to come in. Let me check out the chat. Oh, welcome, my sister, Shani Cat. Welcome. Well, we're gonna get this out. I'm gonna get these announcements out the way. If y'all want to still check me out, I got a Facebook page. Name is Jerry Thomas. Also, I have my own Facebook group. It's all in caps. JTNVP, Thinking for Ourselves. Also, I have a Twitter account, all in caps too, at JTBlackman44. And my Instagram account, all in low caps, the underrated darkness. Also, I am venturing with my brother Ernest Jones. He have his own company, and I'm like co-owner of it. The name of the group, name of the company is AnsAllToys.com. Again, all in one, AnsAllToys.com. Wherever you purchase from us, always remember the money is coming back to our community. It's always economic development. Go check us out. Whatever you purchase, you put in my code, you will get 10% off. NVP lower caps. Let me repeat it again. That's right. If you go to ansalltoys.com, we threw out social media. So just check us out. We take all credit card, pin pods, all that. Wherever you purchase, it's 10% off when you use my code that I create, NVP. We gotta learn to impact each other. We gotta learn to support each other. So, support my brother, support us, so the money will be back in our community. Now, we're gonna wait for some more people to come in. But I got a story, and I know maybe you heard it before, but it's something. It's something a reminder. I remember I did a book. I did a book report when I was in junior high school, and also welcome Wade Slave. Thank you so much. Wait for some more people to come in. It was this story was always, I ain't gonna say intrigue me, but it always angers me. And y'all find out when I read the story. And I was gonna do it today, but I feel that it was time to do it because information, man, and I asked some people, I'll do a live, and there's some people said they want me to do live after after information, and after information, man, live. And now it's time debating. Thank you, Sandra. Appreciate that. Wait for some more people to come in. And I did a story. Thank you so much. Very much appreciate people coming through. For some more people come, I'm gonna read this up and everything. And I remember when I was in college, I did a term paper, and I remember that they sent me the administration office. Why you write that? And it's true. And I think that this is part of our history that we have to recognize. This is the part of history that we have to really remind ourselves. And it's very prevalent for today. And then always remember, Mr. Mitch, all right, thank you so much. Waiting for some more people to come in, and I promise I'm gonna get to the story. And I think that we need to, and also when I read this, I want y'all to look up Dr. Claude Anderson. He's talking about reparations, and he talk about the language about it. Even Dr. Neely Fuller talk about reparations. And so Do us a favor. We need to do ourselves a favor to really re-educate ourselves. The real Aaron Collins, thank you so much. I'm coming. I'm going to read in a few. And sometimes that we be thinking somebody history. I'm not talking about the people in the chat. I'm talking about the people outside. They think it's so. I don't want to learn that, but like I said, it prevalent today, and we have to understand these are the people that I'm getting ready to read about that they are having our wealth. These are the ones that stole our identity, and the federal government had paid them. And we have to understand that there are other nationalities had take advantage, excuse me, of the white supremacist mindset. To me, the white supremacist is all about the mind, all about the mindset, the legislation, and the symbol. Let me repeat it again. It's all about mindset, the legislation, and the symbol. And we have to understand that no matter what's going on, it's not just white dominance, it's other nationality dominance. So we have to understand that. Well, see, let me read out the people. Thanks for coming. Shandy Cat 73. Thank you so much, Wade, for coming. Sandra, thank you. Yokil Alexander, thank you. Mitch, thank you so much. Mitch was one of the ones that helped me say I should do it, so I'm gonna do it. Don't tell him. I already told him in the chat information, man, chat. But the hand forward, real Aaron Collins, thank you. Cap, thank you so much for coming. And I'm gonna get to it right now. Oh, thank you. He's like saying, well, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is about the Native Indians that enslaved us for almost 80 years. Now, this is part of the 1869 treaty that Dr. Claude Anderson to find out. And I urge y'all very seriously, I want you to go to Dr. Claude Anderson. He gonna talk about reparations. And thank you, be fabulous. Thanks for joining. And he talked about this part of the 1865 treaty he was talking about. So I want y'all, when I read this, I want y'all to think about it and also take your due diligence and look it up for yourselves and to understand how I'm going to tie this in, because it's very important. All right, that here it goes. And again, thanks for coming. Some Native Indians tribe owned slaves. The five civilized tribes implemented some of these practices which they had been as beneficiary. They was working to get along with the Americans to keep their territory. Now, when they talk about that, this is part of the beginning of the draw of the treaty of the 1865. These five nations made in the larger efforts of all Native Indians people to assimilate into white society adopted as slavery was one of them. They were most receptive to white pressures to adopt European cultures. Now I'm gonna stop right there. Now we always say see that, oh, we always talking about the white supremacy that the Europeans. That's not true. It was other nationalities started to adopt this white supremacist mindset and the white supremacist policy. All right, I gotta put that in because they don't really say that in our hit. Excuse me, they don't really don't say that. Okay, they were most receptive white pressure to adopt European cultures. The pressure of European Americans to assimilate the economic shift and furs and deer skin, and the government continued to attempt to civilize native tribes in the South, led them to adopt an economic base on agriculture. Slavery itself was not new concept to indigenous American people as an inter-native Indians conflict tribes often keep prisoners of war, but these captured often replace slain tribe members. Native American version of slavery prior to European contact came nowhere close fitting the European definition of slave of native Indians did not originally distinguish between group of people based on color of rather traditions. I'm going to stop right here again. Also, I want you, I think it's on YouTube, is Dr. Gates. He was like doing he was helping people to look up their own history, and it was this actor on the one page PD and what his name. Well, anyway, it was this actor. He found out that his family was enslaved by Native Indians, and they did not give them no citizenship, and they did not have really no land. Okay, when that name pop up, I will let you know. I know it's the tip of my tongue, but I can't get through it. They are conflict theories as to what caused shift between traditional Native Indians servitude to the oppressor racialized enslavement of five civilized tribes adopted. One theory is a civilized tribe adopted slave as means to defend themselves from the federal pressure, believe it to be help them maintain their southern lands. Another narrative postulates the Native Americans begin to flee into European beliefs that Africans were somehow inferior to whites as themselves. Now I'm gonna stop right there too. This was during the time. That's when they start making their economic transaction with the government and the Native Indians. That's throughout part of the Treaty of 1865 and onward. Some indigenous nations, just as the Chickasaws and the Chagos, began to embrace the concept that African bodies was property and equate blackness to hereditary inferiority. Wow. In either case, the system of radical classification and hierarchy took shape as Europeans as you Americans sought to subordinate and exploit Native Indians and African land bodies and labor. While strategies and radical motivate the slave trade promotes African slave owners by Native Americans, which led to new power relations among Native societies, elevate groups as the five civilization tribes to power and serve, ironically, to preserve Native order. Interestingly, these missionaries report that the Native American slave owners were brutal and indulgent masters, even though accounts of Indians freedmen gave different accounts of being treated relatively without tyrant treatment. Mm. The earliest record of African and Native contact occurred in April 1502 when Spanish explored brought an African sheikh with them and encountered a band. Thereafter, Native Americans interact with enslaved Africans and African Americans in every way possible in the early colonial days. So now it goes to show then, right, that we always talk about that we always talk about 1600s, but we need to look at the 1500s too. Don Shady, right? Don Shady, thank you, Wave Slave, thank you, Cap. They get we are. Oh yeah, anybody that has that wrench, hit him side of the head. Matter of fact, I might make up some Mars in a few minutes, but let me get this going. In 1502, when the Spanish explorer brought by African slaves by them and the colonial band, thereafter Native Americans interact with enslaved Africans and African Americans in every way possible in the early colonial days. Native Americans was enslaved along Africans and both often worked with European indigenous laborers. They worked together, lived together in communal quarters, produced collective receipts for food, shared herbal remedies, myths, and legends. At the end, they intermarried because both races were non-Christian. Europeans considered them other than inferior to Europeans. They worked to make enemies in both groups. In some areas, Native Americans began to slowly absorb white culture. See, they see when I remember when I first did a book report, like I say for a few minutes ago. When I put that, I also teacher was calling me about like it was in the book. I remember it was a Dutch writer. He wrote about this, and I noticed that I remember I got in the library, and I remember I bought it back. And also, I said it was so intriguing because I really want to know more about it. And kind of find they said, "Oh, the book is not there no more." Well, we kind of know what happened. You know what I mean? Now we're gonna talk. We're gonna read about slavery in the Indian Territory. In the 1830s, all five civilized tribes would relocate, many of them forcibly, to Indian Territory. Later, the state of Oklahoma, the incident known as the Trail of Tears, and the institution of owning enslaved Africans came with them. And the estimate of 4,500 to 5,000 blacks was formed the slave class in the Indian Territory in 1839. Now, of this part right here, also Dr. Claude Anderson talk about this too. So remember, by like 1839, this was the Indians start really stop develop paperwork, but it came in existence in 1865, almost 30 years later. Understand? I mean, going almost 30 years later. So we have to understand that how the federal government back then and the Indians even back then, they was working together then, but nobody didn't know back then because everybody was getting their cut while we was enslaved and all this. The Indians was getting paid off. Like I said before, they was adopting of the European. Now, later on, like I said, Dr. Cole answered, I'm not mistaken. But later on, when we start going up, when I'm gonna mention somewhat about it. Then now, when Dr. Cole answer was really talking about this, he was talking like the 1865. We talked him like 1880s, 1890. That's when the other nationalities really start like making money off us. And I'm not talking about globally, because globally they was making money of us. I'm talking about in this USA. That's when you start seeing like Louisiana Purchase and stuff like that. Just want to throw that in. The incident known as, let me read this part again. I got to read this part again, family. In the 1830s, all 5 civilized tribes will relocate, made of a forcible in the Indian Territory. Later, the state known of Oklahoma, incident known as the Trails of Tears, institution of only enslaved Africans came with them, of estimate of 4,500 to 5,000 blacks was formed by the slave class in Indian Territory. 1839, the great majority of were possession of mixed blood. Other responses to African chattel slaves by Native Americans. Here we go, family. Here we go. Again, African chattel slavery by Native Americans. Tension varied between African American and Native Indians in the South, as each nation deals with the ideology behind enslavement of Africans differently. In the late 1700s and 1800s, some Native Indians nations gave sanctuary to runaway ships, while others were most likely to capture them and return them to their white masters, or even re-enslave them. Re-enslave them, family. Still others incorporated runaway slaves into their society, sometimes resulting into intermarriages between the African and the Native Indians, which was in commonplace among the Creek and the Seminole. That's in Florida. Although some Native Americans may have some strong dislikes of slavery because they were seen as people of a subordinate race than white men of European descent, they lack of political power to influence the radicalist culture that pervade the non-Indian South. And it's unclear that if some Native Indians slaveholders sympathized with African American slaves as fellow people of color, class more than race may be more useful prism throughout which to view masters of color. Missionary work was an efficient method the United States used to persuade Native Indians to accept European method of living. Missionaries' ferocity denounced Indians' removal as cruel, oppressed, and feared such actions to put Native Americans away from covering. Interestingly, these same missionaries report that the Native Indian slave owners was brutally mastered, even through accounts of Indian free men gave them different accounts of treating relatively well without tyrant treatment. We go before I talk about American War. See, at that time, the Native Indians, they was keeping count. They was lying. They was lying about us. Talking they treat us good. They know they wasn't treat us good. But like I said before, they adopted the slave mentality of these Europeans. And then after all this going on, it's crazy because we don't hear nothing about that. We don't hear about it. Now we're gonna read about the American Civil War, another part of history that we don't really hear about. Traditionalist groups such as the Penn Indians and intertribal Four Mother Society were outspoken opponents of slavery during the Civil War. The five civilization tried to alienate with the Confederates during the American Civil War, in part because they represented the U.S. government having forced them out the Southeast. The Confederates suggested they might establish a Native American controlled state if victorious, but if has been their settlers that had early pushed for the removal of the Native Indians from the Southeast. And it goes to show Abraham Lincoln, the act of relief of the act for the relief of the Indian slave prisoners is in the act for the relief of Indian slave and prisoners. Now, before before I'm gonna read on this about because now see when the Indians before they became slave owners, they were slaves too, but they had to be somewhat free. So who do you think they're gonna pick? They want to enslave us. They pick us. So after they do that, it's like back then, hands wash the other. And so when I'm gonna read this, we're gonna go back. I'm gonna go say a few things. All right. This is the act for the relief of Indian slaves and prisoners. The act of the act for the relief of Indian slaves and prisoners, which was passed on March 7th, 1852, in the Utah Territory, deals with Indian slaves. A similar law act, the Act of Relation to Service, which had made slavery legal in the territory, has passed on February 4th, 1852. Background: although illegal throughout Mexican, the Indian slave trade was well established within the Mormon pioneers. They even enslaved us in Utah. Look them up too. And also, Dr. Carl Anderson also talked about that too. After encouragement of Mormon leaders, Mormon pioneers began buying Indian slaves. They acquired other prisoners throughout war, such as Battle of Fort Utah at the end of Mexican American War. Utah became part of the United States, and the issue of slavery in the new territories became highly political subject. Finally, members of Congress passed the Compromise of 1850, which allows the territory of Utah and New Mexico to choose by popular sovereignty wherever makes slavery legal in those territories. Brigham Young is named after him. There's a college named Brigham Young in Utah. Began seeking to stop Mexican slave trade while encouraging the local market notify and like that. Now, I'm gonna go back to sports and I'm gonna get back to this. Now, if anybody know football, there's a Hall of Fame quarterback named Steve Young. He's a famous quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers. I think he won about 2 or 3 championships like that. He come from Brigham Young. And also the 1980 quarterback from Chicago Bears. He also came from Brigham Young. He'd throw that in. To stop Mexican slave while encouraging the local market and notify Mexicans. Many of Walker's band was upset by the interruptions with the Mexican slave trade. In one graphic incident, Indian Chief Apate, brother of Chief Walker, insists that the Mormons had stopped Mexicans from buying these children. Mormons was obligated to purchase them. In his book, 40 Years Among the Indians, Daniel Jones wrote, several of us were present when he took one of these children by the heel and dashed its brains out on the hard ground, in which they threw the body towards him and tell us we have no heart, or we would have brought and it saved his life. In 1851, Don Pedro Leon Luan, who had been traded slaves with a New Mexico license, sought a Utah license for Brigham Young, but he refused. Later, Lucha was discovered with Indian slaves, and it was charged trading with Indians without a license. And the trial was progress and abundance stats of slavery had become an issue in the trial. Reason for act. While the Mormons was not opposed to using the slaves from their own purpose, they opposed the harsh conditions of Mexican slavery. On January 5th, 1852, Brigham Young addressed the joint session of the Utah Territory Legislature. He discussed the ongoing trial of Don Pedro Leon and the importance of explicit indicate the true policy for slavery in Utah. He explained that although he didn't think people should be treated as property, he felt because Indians was so low and degrading that transferring them to the more favored portion of the human race. But us as Africans in this country, we came against our will. Figure that out, right, fam? That will benefit and relief. He argued that the proper for persons thus purchased to own a debit to the man or woman who saved them, and that was necessary that some law should provide for the suitable regulations under which all such indebtedness should be defrayed. He said this was superior to Georgia of Mexican slavery because the Mexicans was scarcely superior to the Indians. They argued this type of service was necessary and honorable to improve the conditions of Indians. Passing the act. The Legislative Assembly of the Territory of Utah legalized slavery in February 1852 and deal with the Indian slavery of March 1852. The act was divided into 4 sections. The first section was required by the Indian slave buying possession of a white person to be either a prisoner, a woman of God. Wow. The prospective slave owner would bring the slave to the probate judge and was then required to verify the slave owner was properly qualified to raise or retain Indians. If approved, the Indian was then bound to bound for up to 20 years. This could be renewed. Wow. They treat them like applications. Why we don't have nothing as Africans. You see that, fam? Mm. The second section mandates that the probate officer record the slave name, age, place of birth, name of parents, tribe, name of slave owner, name of slave trade, and date of being bound. The third section gave probate officer power to obtain additional Indian prisoners and to find owners of them. The fourth section requires the master send children the age of 7 and 16 years to school for a period of 3 months each year if a school was available. Masters was also required to clothe them in a comfortable and becoming matter. Yes, facts. What facts, wage slave, facts. Masters was answerable to probate judge for the treatment of these slaves. That's the fourth section. The total education required was significantly greater than for blacks and slightly less than white indentured servants, whose masters were required to send them to school at age 6. Effect of the act. As a result of this act, many Mormon families took small Indian children into their homes, protect them from Mexican slaves or from being destitute. John D. Lee, for example, wrote in his journal about a group of Indians who brought me 2 more girls for which I had gave them 2 horses. I named the girls Annetta and Nora. This act concerned the Republican Party, had made anti-slave one of the pillars of their platform, while considering appropriations for Utah Territory. Representative Justin Smith Morrell criticized the Church of Jesus Christ and of Latter-day Saints for its laws of Indian slaves. He said that the laws was unconditional about the way Indian slaves was captured, none that would only require, but it was the Indian be processed by a white person throughout purchase and otherwise. They say Utah was only American government to enslave Indians and said that the state sanctioned slavery is a drag place at the bottom of the cup by Utah alone. The Republicans' abhorrence of slavery in Utah delayed Utah interest as a state of union. In 1857 representation, Justin Smith Rohrer estimates that there were 400 Indian slaves in Utah. Richard Kitchen has identified at least 400 Indian slaves taken into Mormon homes, but estimated even though went uncorded. So they was enslaved too in 1857. But estimate even more went unrecorded because the high mortality rate of Indian slaves, many of them try to escape. Welcome, information man. Great bill, great bill, great bill, great bill. Now we go to similar. Now we go to similar Similar acts. So the ones who come late in the come late, appreciate you coming. You can always rewind back. I'm talking about Native Indians has had enslaved us, and I'm going back into time. Similar acts. On the following day, March 8th, 1852, the Act of Relations and to Assembly of Indians was passed, which prohibition of the Assembly of Indians near white settlers. So, family, it goes to show that when they were slaving us, right? Welcome, Sandra Brown. I'm gonna pull up some more stuff. When they was when they enslaved us back then, it was Mexicans enslaved them. But all of them they had their hands in the cookie jar. And you know who the one got the worst of it was us. That's what I was saying in the beginning of the stream, family, that all along, one way or the other, it was a lot of the nationality was enslaving us. It was a lot of them had their hands in. It was big business. And it was big business, like I said, it was globally back then. But we ain't talking about, we talking about in this USA. And we have to understand that it's still happening right now. Welcome, welcome. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome. And salute to you. I'm gonna read the names out. And we're gonna read some more. I'm not gonna be up that long because I know y'all I know you've been up for a while, so I'm not gonna keep you up and everything. But what Dr. Claude Anderson, what he was fighting for almost 50 years, it was like throughout the 1800s. Now I'm talking about the 1800s going to the 1900s now, family. This was during the time that white Indians, it was white Indians, and they was mixing at that time. And they was like, a lot of them was getting reparations, and the Native Indians wasn't. Now, in a way, I don't feel sorry for them because they enslaved us for almost 80 years. They was getting money, but see what happened was the government made a deal for them, and they ended up getting screwed. Now, part of this was happening. That's when it was like, when they said lost tribes, that's what they was talking about back then, the lost tribes. And then what happened was, little by little, I'm talking about legislation now. I'm not talking about, humanity. We're gonna get to that. Right, the $5 Indians, right. The $5 Indians, that's right, Cap. And they consider themselves $5. So, but see, when they was considered $5, little by throughout the decade, they was gaining land. They was gaining their political content. They was getting their political human rights. And while the Native Indians, they wasn't getting, when I told them they cut them off. But see, like I said before, I really don't feel sorry for them because they enslaved us. See, they entrusted this government that they gonna they figure, okay, if I enslave these Africans, I know I could probably, they're gonna put me up there. Oh no. They ain't do that. They didn't do that at all. And the same way that these Indians that these slave owners had treated us, family, they did. Yo, let me tell you, the Indian slave owners, they was worse. How you go to picture this family? They enslave you. They said, "Don't worry about it. I'm gonna work out of here so you can get free." Come to find out, you came here. You don't have a a religion. You do not have a voice. Come to find out, you thought you was going to be part of this tribe. Come to find out, you ain't part of no tribe. So you know that. So you in a certain place that they don't acknowledge you at all. It's bad enough the federal government was making money off us, but they also had help these Native Indians. And Native Indians thought they doing a good job even back then, and come to find out they end up getting screwed. See, they always talk about, oh, we need to march with the blacks. We don't understand what we talking about, but we had to understand that they are Native Indians again had enslaved us. They had throw us away. They did not treat us that we part of humanity. They made up a try, yes. And so I don't know Obama did on his first term or the second term. So he signed a bill practically for reparations for Indians for 900 and some $1 million. Now there are some black Indians, they still fight to this day to get reparations. I'm talking about the ones who had it, their family was enslaved. And that's why one of the reasons that they couldn't get nobody, because they was part of this tribe, but at the same time, they was not part of Indian law. And then that's what I was saying, that Dr. Claude Anderson of the 1865 Treaty family, he had to fight against that. They have to change the language about that. That's why it was very important, even right now, family, that we're really on our own. We really is. Yes, it was a freedom, right? I read that. That's right. And so we have to understand, even there are some of our people had enslaved too, but it was just a few. But we have to understand, family, and I'm going to keep on emphasizing this because it's very important that we have to understand that it was big business back then. Of our backs and our sweat, even getting slaughtered. We was getting slaughtered, and we still got to get back to work. And I know people always saying, "Oh yeah, they ain't had no, we ain't had, we only have each other." But it goes to show that we are resilient people. Where we put our mind into, we do it. I want you to look at my hashtags. It says hashtag family. Let's get another championship for our existence. And the next one, black people, we part of humanity too. I want each and every one to copy both or copy either one. It doesn't make a difference. Right down there. And but we have to understand that we think things really change. No, things has not changed, because now you got Indians now, they want to build more casinos. And you got the government said, no, no, no. But so late. But see, like I said, they got reparations. They got all this all along. Yeah.
That's a good point. The real Aaron Collins, welcome. Obama did shit for everybody except it's everyone else for us. Right. Because I remember I was on this I didn't even go to subject, but I was on this I went to the show. I paid attention to this show. And he was like talking about this guy talking about different mindset. So when I said like this, he was talking about like, people did it, people do that. But I said, but he was talking like white people have voted Obama in. And I said, yeah, they voted him in, but we the one got him in. We did. One time we got him like over 92%. Then I believe the second term, we got him like almost 98%. And then that's why, and then he got nerve telling me, oh, I'm this and that and everything. But I'm just making a point that because he thought you just asked for Hannah. No, I didn't ask for the Hannah. I'm just stating facts here that, I'm just making a point that the people that you got you in, you should look out. We should expect it's not going to happen. I just make the point, but he wants to twist it around and stuff like that. But my point was this: that's what the Native Indians had played a game. Them and the federal government had played a game among themselves to enslave us. So they won't get fucking hurt. So for me, as a melanin brother, I'm not gonna say we should get emotional, but I'm saying like let's do our due diligence, know more about our history. Let's do our due diligence of any race that enslaved us. Let's be careful when they say they are our friend. Because at the end of the day, we only got ourselves. And then our people are very diverse. So we should always have diverse thinking. Always fight for the liberation of our people. We have to be diverse. We can never say, I cannot go to Wade Slave. He said, I'm doing such and such and such. But then also, no, I'm not going to respect you. Why I ain't going to respect you? We out here for the same. You got a different flight. I got a different flight. But we fighting the same battle at the end of the day. See, there's quite a few people want to be right in everything because they want to find their own analogy. But sometimes that could be very dangerous too, because look what happened with the Indians. They thought they were going to be in with the whiteys and stuff. They said, you already did what we told you to do. And right this minute, they are paying for it. They are really paying for it. Now, in a way, you know, anyway, let me change. Let me reframe that. In a way, they're not really paying for it. I mean, the Blacking is, but the other tribes that they support. Do you think? All right, let me. I always said this. I always want to. I want to ask this question, family, and you go. I want y'all to answer. When I ask this question, I want you to type it in. And like I said, look at the look at what I put up and copy it, please. But my hashtags, please. Very much appreciated. Do you think the Indians should got all that money from Obama? For President Obama family? And I understand my master question because some of them, they claim that they Indian, they white. But the real Indians, they didn't really get the money. And also, those are the same ones. Now I ain't talking about the black Indians, but I'm talking about the native Indians. I'm talking about native Indians. These are the same ones that enslaved us. Okay. All right, my brother, information. Yeah. Like, who else? I'm telling you where I put. I'm put this right now. Hell, yeah. Mm-hmm. Who else? See, I asked that question, fam, because that's the same question that years ago that Dr. Carl Anderson had asked people when he was on his college campus tour. And I believe back in the 80s, late 80s, going early 90s. So, yeah. But why? And then also, when I asked that question, because they are still a lot of us as the people. I'm not talking about the ones in the chat. I'm not talking about the ones outside, but I'm talking about of the broader of our people don't know the information that I'm reading about. They don't know that all this is really occurring. And let's be honest here, this happened like centuries ago. And also, it had a major effect when we hit the 1900s. And it's prevalent today because while every nationality in this world have their hands in the cookie jar enslaving us. Now I'm talking about globally now because there are some people said they know Indians around the world. Yes, it is, and they making money. Just like before the Europeans enslaved us, the Arabs enslaved us back even before then. And it was going to say, like in the 1900s and centuries before that, the Arabs killed over 20 million of us. 20 million. And until this day, right this minute, they still enslave us. Okay. Thanks a lot to come, Cap. What do you mean Africa that enslaved our people? Thank you. But But this is something that we have to really, really, really talk to our children about. Like I said, for the Arabs and the Indians and even Indians. Now let's think about, let's talk about Africa. Right there in Africa, you know that certain parts of Africa, they got little China in Africa, and even in some Caribbean countries of our people. You know that family. So despite that, I told that I talked about the native Indians, but all our nationalities, all the nationalities, they had their hands enslaving us. But you don't hear none about it because it was underneath. You know, all the papers was undocumented and stuff. And found out like centuries, it popped up. Like Don Cheney, for my good brother, he brought that out. When I seen that, it was so disbelief. He said, "Wow." And they had to dig in. They had really dig in to find that out. Walk Waller, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. I'm just gonna be in a few minutes because I know you're tired and everything. But that was shocking to him. You can see the hurt. So when we deal with other nationalities, when they say they want to be critical, let's understand that they had a part, a piece of the pie. And understand this, that they said we good people, we not all about that and stuff like that. Are you going to be on the forefront and say that y'all did wrong? Are you willing to correct it? Because selected ones do not do it anymore. We still under attack as a people. We still enslaved in somewhat. We still enslaved in many ways that we don't even have a clue about. Let me say it again. We are still enslaved to a certain extent in many levels that we better understand. We better understand that. And we better understand is that there are a lot of nationalities in this world, in this humanity, is practicing white supremacist policies, white supremacist mindset that's been going on for a long time. They are adopting white privilege. Instead of they do treaties, now they in legislation now. And we have to understand that. We have to understand that they play this is happening right now. Hey, the underrated doctors ain't made it up. The underrated doctors ain't hey, I ain't made it up. It's in the books. It's in the books. So we have to understand, to acquire this knowledge, to advocate for ourselves. When we advocate for ourselves, we become more righteous in the best way we can. And then after that, we empower our family. After we empower our family, we empower our community. After we empower our community, we empower our nation. Let me repeat that again. because I talk like that because I'm living proof of it. First thing foremost, when we acquire this now, we got to empower, we got to advocate for ourselves, especially brother. We want to be leaders. We have to step up. So sister can follow suit, a good woman. And even the ones that don't want to follow, I'm talking about the black woman, hopefully they get it, but if they don't, they don't. Welcome, Jalen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But let me say it again. Advocate for yourself. When you do that, you strive to be better and try to walk into righteousness. And if we imperfect, you ain't gonna get it right all the time. Well, at least you in the race for humanity. For humanity. After that, pass it on to your family, brothers and sisters. Brothers, we got, like I said, we got to be more accountable for ourselves. Sisters, same thing too. If a brother is willing to change, if you see he's changing, if he want to be in charge of the family, if he trying to do it, you have to support that. You got to work it together with that. And brothers, if a sister is willing to change within her to help the structure, help to strengthen the family, you got to be right there too. So family, it's got to be family. After that, when the family is strong, when the black man and black woman work in conjunction together, and the kids got that, we got that spirit and everything that our ancestors had passed to us, and that African spirit and everything else on. And I'm talking about I'm talking about the famous ancestors and the ones not so famous. When they give this to, and that's when we give it to the community. And that's when all of us come in regional, community regional. And we make that strong. And then finally, we could build a stronger nation. When we build a stronger nation, we cannot be stopped. Welcome. Thanks for coming. But again, it's got to start from self. And anything that I learned personally, when I do this live with the family here, that we still got ways to go. But it starts from right here. It is a start. It is a start to, we could do this. You don't have to be in a status. You don't have to be in a certain status. You don't have to be. Just show up and be true. Just show up and talk to the liberation in the past so it could be present. Let's fight for our right to be part of this humanity. This world has stolen. I'm talking about people of the world. Their people have stole our patent. They stole our way. They stole our creation. But at the same time, we still here. And the ones who want to talk about self, I call them parasite scholars. Get them out of here. Because this is the way I feel it goes for a black man and a black woman. If you're not willing to work together, if you're not willing to stand up against white supremacist policy, legislation, mindset, the symbol, it doesn't make no sense to be part of it. It doesn't make no sense to be part of like-minded people. We gotta create. I always say this. I'm gonna say a few things, and but I always say this. And I want y'all to remember this. Despite this is a press system that we in, we got to make the best of it for ourselves. But at the same time, we should try to build our own system that everything that comes with it, and the ones that stole from us, we get it back. Now, maybe it's not gonna be in our lifetime, but at least our kids would have it and other adults have it. Let me repeat it again because that is very, very important, because I hear people say, we don't want to be around. No, one way or the other, you got to work within the STEM system. You got to wash your ass. You gotta cook. You gotta put the kids. You gotta put clothes in bed. You gotta support the kids and everything. And plus, we gotta support each other. So you gotta work within the system. But the elements of the oppressive system, we don't support that. We fight against that. But we gotta work within the system. Wherever little good come out of it, let's benefit it. Let's build on it. And at the same time, let's build our own system at the same time. And understand of economics. Let's stop leasing let's stop leasing capital and gaining capital. Let's stop being consumers instead of being entrepreneurs. Yeah, this system had to be dismantled. Yeah, it's got to be dismantled. But see, when this system got to be dismantled, it's like Malcolm X said, it's got to be bloodshed. I agree with that one of the day, but that's what I'm talking about. And then I'm all about working with the less fortunate. Let's bring them up because they don't know. Because majority of them, see, I'm from the hood, so I came from the hood, so I know what I'm talking about. It's all about damn survival. Everything around in the ghetto is disfranchised. But at the same time, they got to help themselves too. But see, one of the days, I understand what you're saying, but this is the thing about that a lot of us don't understand too. There's a lot of us is doing the work, but we need more. We need more funding, and we need more. We need more unity. You know. I'm not gonna say our people ain't enough people do it. There's a lot of us is doing it, but we need to have land. We need to have land too, and that's what Dr. Claude Anderson is talking about. Part of his reparation. We want to develop a certain language so we can have land, so we can have our own. We can have our own. That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to say, Juanita David. There's certain things you're not listening to. That's a part of it. Developing our own system. Our own system. So when the time comes when we leave from this oppressed system, we will have our own. We will protect our own. We will protect our own in all levels. But we got to start from somewhere. I respect what you're saying, Juanita David, but we got to stop saying sound like we in the choir or something that a lot of us ain't doing. There's a lot of us is doing it that you don't know, that we don't have a clue about it. And we got to stop doing things. We got to start look to doing things all out. Let's learn to do things underground, for crying out loud. Yeah, they do, but see, the ones who turn against us, those are the ones we don't mess with. True, yeah. We know what the white man do, but I'm saying us as brothers, it got to come from us. I'm not gonna touch that, but that's all I'm gonna say. But we had to do for ourselves. Okay, family? We gotta stop looking at certain things too much. And we have to understand that it's up to us. Because the churches is not doing it, certain institutions not doing it. Because I remember this is decades ago that the black churches was a spiritual fabric, social fabric, and political fabric, and a community fabric in our community. And they was down with the causes, but now there's nowhere to be found. There's a lot of single black women go to church. I'm not saying nothing wrong with his sisters, but be careful because you can have a good man at home and he does believe in God, but he see how the church is, and you see the pastor is sweet with some sweet nothings in your ear. Yeah, you don't lead them because you know you're not yoked and stuff like that. No, if he treats you right, if he paid the bills in the house and he treats you with respect, don't listen to that pastor. And man, we gotta take care. We gotta take care better of our women. Yeah, church is pimping. It's a corporation now. See, obviously, I was raised as Jehovah's Witness, so I do have the spiritual belief. I really do. And I do believe some teachers, yes, I do. But also, I had to understand too that us as a people globally, we have been disrespected because of religion too. I had to understand too, personally, even the people inside the church. And also, let me put this out too. Little boys do get molested in church by women too. I need to put that out too. Because they don't be talked about either. But when we in slavery, we was getting killed. We was getting slaughtered. And they still praying for the Bible and they still go to church while we get hanged as men. While our women get caned, get their babies cut off. And they slaughter little boys. And you know, also in Florida, they used to tie our little boys or little girls up in the trees. They used to hit the trees, hit the branches. So the wild crocodiles will swallow them up whole. Swallow them up whole, family. Swallow them up whole. And what do you think they do with our kids right now? They swallow our kids whole of these damn phantom legislations that they have. And then you got the black and Hispanic caucus ain't did a goddamn thing. Do I believe that there are some have our interests? Yeah, but that's long gone. We letting this machine brainwash us. We letting this machine of white supremacy have put us out there for centuries and centuries. They have our brains and cabal with craziness. Just as the information man was talking about the Cosby and Kanye and all that. Okay, Juanita, you said the man need to police our community to prevent harmful drugs and that being. But see, do you understand that we don't bring the drugs, we don't bring the guns in our community? Do we sell it? Yeah, we sell it. It's wrong, everything. And I'm not making no excuses, but this is my point right here. Where is the opportunity? See, I could always say we need to do for ourselves, brothers. We need to do ourselves, sisters. But the ones who try to do it, where's the opportunities at? Because, see, I'm not going to put all this on us. No, I'm not. Because that's too easy to do, Sister Juanita Davis. That is too easy to do. No, I'm putting majority to the system. But see, this is the question right here. Are we willing? And I'm not talking about the people in the chat, and I'm not talking about the people who watching me 18 people right now and everything, but I'm talking about the ones on the outside. Are you willing to fight for the system, against this oppressed system? True one, welcome. I haven't heard from you in a while. Thank you. Are we willing to do that? Are we willing to sit down with our kids and tell them the truth, what's going on, even if it feels uncomfortable? Are we willing to do that? The real Aaron Collins, peace, brother. Are we willing to do that? But I understand wage slave. I get that, but see, every state have their own different legislation of carrying guns. Look what they doing now. They trying to take our guns away of certain rural lands that us as melanin people live at. And this is facts. Yeah, slave patrols, yeah. That's why one of the reasons we have to create our own programs. We have to create what we need to do. We got to be self-reliant. We got to advocate for ourselves, advocate for our family, advocate for our community, and advocate for our own nation. Of these concepts, when I'm talking about, we should be on our way to, by little, by brick, by air, by breathe, we should little by little to create our own system. Yeah, I heard about that wave slave. I heard about it. See, of course, we ain't gonna let us have guns. Yeah, nice watch, yeah. But at the same time, Belgium, but I do want to say this. If we do anything that's contrary to our community, we have every right to speak up on it and take care of that. We got to be real fair about this. We got to start hurting our community. We got to start hurting our community. We just cannot think that everything okay. So we, like I said, advocate ourselves. So part of it, advocate ourselves too. That means that we got to see good, the ones that come up. And even if they don't not willing to change, oh well. All right, I'm saying like this. Look at our neighborhoods. We got a Mexican, got a Mexican store, a Hispanic store, Chinese, Japanese store, Italian store, Arab store. None of them don't respect us. And all their money they stay with them like for 6 or 7 hours. But our money, we stay with man in minutes. But again, it's too easy to blame on us because if we never was taught how to save our money and to have capital, well, it is what it is. So we have to, let's get them likes up, family. Let's get them likes up, and plus share this. Very much appreciated. Share this. Very much appreciated. And then when we stick up for ourselves, oh, you a racist. Oh, you don't understand. Come on, shut up. You know what I'm talking about. If I see a damn water that's gonna come after me and it's taller than me, oh yeah, I'm instead trying to stop it. And I know that water could kill me. I'm not staying there. See, we have to understand that we gotta see what the system for what it is. We just cannot make believe, oh, it's going to get better because we get past this and past that. No. It ain't happening. Appreciate that information, man. Appreciate that. But you gotta see for what it is. We gotta stop being under denial that, oh yeah, oh, this certain nationality has got such and such. Why we can't? Because it was planned like that. Like I said before, they was making money off for centuries. Every nationality had make money of us. Every nationality has copied from us. They could probably hate each other, but when it comes to us, oh yeah, they making deals. Because they know if some of us ever figure it out, and I believe majority of us will, we could take over this goddamn world within a few hours. And I'm talking about us as melanin people around the world. People, a lot of us is sick. We're sick in the brain. We're sick all through our body. And we don't want to get no help. And the ones who are trying to get help, some of them don't even know how to get help. So what we got to do, we have to keep on gaining knowledge. We got to keep on handpick people that is willing to fight for our rights. It doesn't mean oh, a person could do all. No. Each of us could play our part. Each of us could do our part. Each of us could do, and then after that, it could be collectively. Then after collectively, it could grow. Love Marcus Garvey, like Malcolm X. Josephine Baker, Athea Gibson, Wilma Rudolph. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. We leasing capital to these people. You know what I'm saying? The real Aaron Collins. And then we end up being broke. See what Colin Kaepernick talk about, they talk about the flag. I know, man, I'm getting off the subject a little bit, but they talking about, what are you talking about? Be fair. You killing us, you shooting us down. And you still got some of our people, oh, they shouldn't say that, support the flag. Why I'm going to support something that never support me, never respect me? Now, I will never knock any black man or black woman who fight for this country, but I will tell them this. I said, you better learn the history of it. You better learn about the Harlem Helltoppers. You better learn about the Tuskegee Airmen. But they always play them two verses of the flag, but they never play the third and fourth. And that's crazy. That's really crazy that how us as a people, we still fall for it. Because a lot of us still had that enslaved mentality. Sad thing about it. And I'm talking about the ones, I'm talking about the coons and the coonettes. The Jesse Lee Peters, Al, little Al Taker, Sharpton. Jesse, get on your knees, Jackson. Your time is up. Get out the way and let the real ones bring this conversation, that bring this movement up for us as a people to be counted. We tired of sound bites. We want action. And I think that's a lot of us is tired about it, even brothers, especially brothers. I appreciate that information, man. So yeah, we want you to link me up, man. So I want to do the interview about the cooking too very soon. But whatever it is, you can always hit me up, brother. You need to talk or whatever. But You know, look out for that, man. Look out for that, family. Information man, he gonna interview me one day about cooking. That's another thing. That's all about advocating for yourself, brothers. Excuse me, sisters. Because see, when I was coming up, the man and the woman better know how to cook. The man and woman better know how to clean the house. The man and woman better know how to budget. See, that's that's the time I come from. See, I want you to look at my hashtag. See the underrated darkness and the well-rounded chef JT. There's a brother, a good brother on YouTube named John Doe. He gave me Chef JT because at the time that's when I started to cook. I started really cooking again. I mean, I've been was cooking, but you know, I started showing my dish and stuff. But at the same time, I flip it around. The well-rounded chef JT. Because I don't just chef in the kitchen. I be chefing up information. Let me repeat myself. The well-rounded chef JT. I don't chef it up in the kitchen. I'm not just chefing up in the kitchen. I be chefing it up. Information. And I'm damn good at it. And I'm getting better. And I do it for the ones that wants to hear it. I do it for the ones that once had that diverse, constructive thinking, but at the same time, still fight for the liberation of our people. That's what it's all about. So when you see people, oh, that's Chef JT, you know, I'm just giving you some true science what it's all about. And brothers, again, we gotta advocate for ourselves more. If you don't know, you don't know. I don't know everything. We gotta build up our brotherhood, no matter what status that we in. Because good sisters want good brothers to stand up for ourselves. They want to see examples. And you do not have to have money. You do not have to be in a sorority. It's good to be a sorority that support our people. Not talking about that sorority. I'm talking about other things too. So when Information Man was talking about we need to support each other channels, I've been talking about this for a long time. So it was a breath of fresh air because at one time I felt that I would bring information, but I wasn't hardly getting that many views. But it's okay though, because at least I'm growing my channel organically. And for me personally, I came a long way. See, when you put yourself out there, this all about advocating for yourself. When you put yourself out there, good things would happen. It's not going to happen when you want to, but it's going to happen. It was a blessing to talk to Cat PY2 again. I know Cat PY2 for a minute. It's a blessing to get to know Information because I see Information Man sometimes, but I finally got to know him and other people. It is a damn blessing, and now we become as one family. Now my family is getting big. Because there's no stopping that. We got to keep it going. Why they took out your channel, Belgium? But that's what it's all about. And also, if you feel comfortable with that person is something outside YouTube, let's engage. Like I'm trying to work on, work with work or get a panel. So I know how to hook it up, but that's gonna take a little time because I only had this laptop going on 4 months, so I still don't really know this and that and everything. But I'm working on it. Let's help out each other too. Yeah, I heard about it, but we ain't talking about that, Jalen. We're gonna talk about it another time. But I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But we gotta start from somewhere, family. We gotta start from somewhere. Like let me tell you something about my channel. I had on my channel. I have a sports show, the underrated sports show. I deal with my brother Chief Stay Sleep. He's my co-host. We talk about sports and stuff. Break it down, basketball. NBA playoffs. So I have that every Monday. Also on my channel, people already know I cook. But like I said, I'm the well-rounded chef JT. I don't just chef in the kitchen. I be chefing up information like I'm doing right now. I cook this up. I give it to ones who want to hear it. That's what I do. Also, I develop a something named the Chocolate Soul Lounge. I want y'all to check that out on my channel. That's for the ladies. I just did one. I'm gonna let it like that, let it ride out like that, but I'm gonna do something real soon. Also, I do labels. I show our fam how to read labels. What's to look for? The higher numbers is the worst one. Sometimes it's lower is better because some of us do not have, farmer markets around. So we gotta do the next thing, be there and plus shop organically. But see, this cannot just, oh yeah, I mean pork. I can say, no, it takes time. Just stay the course. You going slim, you little pork. Okay, ain't no wrong with that. I gotta work on it too, but it takes time. Let's limit the extra elements of our cooking. So on my channel, I got different things, but want y'all to check it out. Then when you check it out, subscribe to me so I subscribe to your back. Sometimes you look through my channel. Sometimes I'll be doing lives. I'll be doing lives early in the morning. Like sometime 9, 10, 11 o'clock. Breakfast. Again, I be chefing up I be chefing up eating and chefing up information. Sometimes I don't want to eat breakfast by myself. I want to do a live and talk about different things. It's all about, I'm talking about fellowshipping. That's what we have to work on. The black man, the black woman, we got to learn to fellowship more. We got to learn to understand each other's differences. You know, it's so funny. I was gonna wait until do this live, do the stream, by a few hours from now. I really did, but KD 884 and Mitch, it's a go. What you just come on, already do it. Cause at first I wasn't gonna do it because I was having so much. I was really into the live that my brother Information Man had. He said, and then I see some people B Fab. She said, "Come on, won't you do it?" I said, "Okay." So that's what it's all about. Learn to feel the right vibe. And I remember when I was putting my live string, it's like I had this certain energy. Okay, you brought up Jamaica, my ancestry test. Yeah, I got to do my ancestry test too because I'm thinking about starting next year. I'm gonna do my mother's side of the family, and then the last I'm gonna do my father's side, and last I'm gonna do my mother. No, I mean I'm gonna do my mother's side. Then after that, last I'm gonna do my father's side. Yeah, y'all right. But all I'm saying start from us, fam. It really starts from us, and oh yeah. Um every Sunday for a while I'll be cooking, and then like for the last almost a month and a half, I think a little over a month, I'll be creating my own dessert. I want you to I don't know what's gonna happen this Saturday, Sunday. Usually I do a live anyway, but usually when I do my live, I usually show what the food I made. We talk about different things on my live. Then after that, maybe like 30, 40 minutes later, and it's come out good. But I want y'all to go to my Facebook page, Jerry Thomas, and you will see it. Yeah, I'm a Zambo, but I'm 75% Afro. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Any questions you want to ask? So, yeah, do that. We have to, got to, must. But anybody want to ask questions? Like I said, in a few minutes, I'm close this out. I might do one. Now I ain't gonna do one in the morning. Usually on Saturdays I do one in the morning. But I might, if I feel up to it, I might have to make a run. I'm not sure yet, but if I don't make a run, mostly like in the afternoon, maybe late afternoon,
Early night, I might do one. I don't not sure yet, but most likely a Sunday. Um, I gotta think what I'm gonna make. Also, some of this is what I made like last year. It's like with the old and the new too. But like I said, check out my channel. Check out my channel. And it's a growth. No? Growth. Sure. No? Because I might do something, add a little this, add a little that while I'm cooking. I'm still thinking on that. So, family, I want y'all to watch out for that. I don't know what I'm going to dessert I'm going to do, but I'm gonna find out what I'm going to do. I'm gonna find out what I want to do. One of you that said, what did you say about man policing the communities to prevent? Um, it should do that, but at the same time, again, again, we protecting drugs. We can protect drugs if we want to, but we gotta say where really is coming from. It's not coming from us as a people. All you need to do, go back in the mid. I want you to look at the families in the mid 1980s, I believe 85, 86. It was proven that the government paid the Nicaraguan government to put drugs in our communities around of this USA back in the mid 80s. And it was this guy named, I forgot his last name is West. And he's from, I think he's from the San Jose Tribune, I think. That's in California. I mean, no, is it San Jose? I think it's San Jose Tribune, something like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and come to find out throughout the years, they said Reagan knew about it, and Oliver North knew about it. And what happened was, they started having congressional hearings about it. And I believe, like in '93 and '94, they said West committed suicide. That's when him and a few other ones broke the story, the CIA and everything like that. But everybody said, but people saying that he didn't commit suicide. He didn't commit suicide. So okay, should we first see more concern about the harmful effect of what we can see as his? Yeah, but again, Juan, you know, again, I gotta hide that, brother. Gotta hit that. But so again, let's stop. We gotta put some blame for ourselves and some blame, majority blame to the system. No.
And I know some people say you don't supposed to rely on the government. Yeah, it's true, but that's part of the system we work through. We work through this system to get what we need, at the same time build our own. And I'm gonna keep on saying that too. I'm gonna keep on saying that. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read the Yep. Let me see. So my mouse and everything. Okay. Got stuck. Okay. Um. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Wave Slave. Thanks for coming. Cat PY2. So caught 38. Thanks for coming, my sis. The real Aaron Collins. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks for joining. I said, all right, the real Aaron Collins. Salute to you, brother. Information man. Thanks for coming, my brother. Thank you so much for coming. And the ones who came in late that missed Information man, he did a live before I did. Check it out. It's very powerful. Support him and support everybody in the chat and subscribe to everybody in the chat. So support yours truly, the Underrated Darkness, aka the well-rounded Chef JT. Like I say, support, subscribe to each and every one on the chat. Support yours truly, the Underrated Darkness, aka the well-rounded Chef JT. Like I said before, I'm not just chefing up in the kitchen. I be chefing up information. Believe that. Believe that. Let's get back to these names. Artie, thanks for coming. Very much appreciate. Always a blessing. Sandra, thanks for coming, my sister. Very much appreciated. Juanita Davis, thanks for coming. Rock Wilder, thanks for coming. Yoko Alexander, thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Belgian Renegade Rider, thanks for coming. Appreciate that. True One, long time to see. Welcome back. Come back. Always a blessing. Go Gary Low. What's up, Sarah? What's good? Welcome. Get ready to close it out. So wherever, Sarah, you know when I close out, you can catch the beginning. Always a blessing. Always a blessing. Thanks for coming. I am very humble of this opportunity you give me to share things about our people. I am very humble of your presence. It actually let me know that I'm doing what I'm doing is right. And let's keep on supporting each other. Like I said before, the ones who did not went to the Information Man platform, Information Man channel, excuse me, go and look him up. And he talking about the Kazi Verde is beautiful. We talk about a lot of things. Oh yeah, Information Man, I was trying to get in your chat, but I was blocked and everything. So Nick, hopefully you check that out for me, please. I was blocked. That's why I couldn't get in. You know, and I appreciate that. What's your backup channel, Jalen? Put it in quick because I'm getting ready to lock this down. Good night to you. Always a blessing, Information Man. And like I said, let's link up. You know, I want to talk to you about a few things anyway. You know, let's link up and stuff. Um, yeah, I was blocked, bro. Check out Jalen. Secondary thing. You see, he put in the chat. Jake Jason Podcast TV. Um, Jalen. Okay. So, wow, I did 2 hours. Oh, that's 16 minutes. But I want to thank you so much. And let's understand this here. And when you advocate for yourself, you strive to be righteous. That means you strive to have a strong family. The black man and the black woman, we gotta solve our own problems. That is the only way that our unit will be strong again. That's when we could show our kids. And everything of our spirit goes with it. And then when that is strong, then we go to community and we take care of the ones who's not being wanted. Let's look out for each other in our community. And then when we get that right, then our nation, and that's wherever it is. But if all of us as melanin people, picture if all of us as melanin people that got strong and say no to this system. That'd be so beautiful, right? That'd be beautiful, right? But the sad thing about it right now, it's a dream. Nothing wrong to dream for our people to prosper, right? Nothing wrong to prosper. We'll have our rightfully time is ours, right? Well, we gotta start from somewhere, family. We gotta start from somewhere. And I can say good morning and thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for taking the time to listen to me. And it was a great time, family. You know, Information Man, excellent information. I hope I give y'all the great information, the best I can. Cause I do it wholeheartedly. I'm just humble this opportunity. It really is. So, of that note, let's be good to each other. And like again, subscribe to each other and participate. Subscribe to my channel, the one and only Underrated Darkness. That's my channel, aka the well-rounded Chef JT. I not just chef it up in the kitchen, I be chefing up information. And let's be good to each other. Straight up, let's be good to each other. And it start from right now. And on that note, I am Ghost.